Hi, Leo. Um, this is going to be your February 2018 reading. I'm really sorry about not getting the January readings done. I was super sick with the flu, and I just didn't want to spread my sickening energy anywhere, so I kept to myself. So anytime you hear this reading from now until throughout February, it's applicable if it's resonating for you at that particular time. So, off the bat, I'm feeling very in control, powerful. My energy feels directed at the right thing. Like I feel very positive. I feel very good. They're showing me the sun card, the card of the sun. So I just feel like, woohoo, I'm on a horse. The sun's shining. I'm a baby. I have no worries in the world. So let's see what the cards have to say. But immediately I get like a really positive energy for you guys. So that's great. All right. So what messages do you have for the sign of Leo for February 2018? What messages are there for Leo in 2018 for February? These cards are acting weird. Okay. Okay. Oh, you guys have a powerful reading. Okay. So we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. And the moon is your underlying energy. So what I feel like is you're coming out of a time of a lot of deep spiritual work, kind of going to the depths of your shadow self and kind of deciding where the light is in your life. What makes you happy? What is your passion? What drives you? And kind of deciding, here we have the Hermit here, the underlying theme of the moon. So it's kind of like going into the shadow work, into the darkness, and finding the light for this. This can also be a card about secrets, but I feel like there's like an illumination of what wasn't working. So, because in the past you had decisions, a feeling of unhappiness, unfulfilled cups, they're kind of upside down, and then kind of feeling like you are, something was taken from you, or there's some sneakiness in your life, or something behind the scenes you weren't fully aware of caused you to have to go within and kind of trust your intuition and trust your feelings. I feel like you kind of had to just decide what was right without proof, or you had to come to your own conclusions about some sort of situation. And here in the middle we have the Queen of Swords and an energy of the King of Swords. So there was some sort of cutting truth that happened. I feel like if this was in a partnership, you had to work, or you're having to work on your communication and being very true to what you want. I feel like you're getting to a level where you are communicating what you want effectively. So being very honest, stating what you want and not being such a giver and having so much mercy on people. You know what I mean? When you meet somebody, and or if you're in a relationship with somebody, you always give them the benefit of the doubt, like innocent until proven guilty. So until they do something wrong, they're wonderful. So it's more like having this internal discernment when you meet people or when you're in a relationship, to trust your gut and to trust your feelings without necessarily there being like a physical, tactile, representation of what you're feeling. You're just kind of going with your gut, and you're explaining that. You're like, this doesn't make me happy, so I'm going to need this to change. I'm sorry you don't realize how this makes me feel, but it's because those are my feelings, and they're valid too, right? So right on top of this, it looks like you get like a positive response. You kind of need to cut some things, or some things that made you didn't want. Like, no thanks, I don't want that. And you end up getting a pretty positive response. It's interesting, we don't have any fire here, which is your sign, but I feel like interesting. I mean, I feel like this has been like more in your head. Like what you've had to go through is to master being able to verbally express how you're feeling, to talk to people and not just to, kind of blow up. You've mastered this communication with your partner, and you've taken the first step to figuring out how to communicate better. And in between the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, we have the Empress. So she's the ultimate queen. She's the Queen of Queens. She's already mastered all of what's the word I'm looking for? The suits. She's the Queen of Air, Fire, Water, Earth, right? So this is just like another step in your mastery of who you are. And the Empress kind of has everything she wants. She's abundant, she's fertile, she's the Queen of Queens, she's earthly, she's grounded, and she has, what I'm noticing in the background is she has this river of water just flowing to her, that emotional happiness, that emotional fulfillment. So you're realizing that instead of using your fieriness, which you have mastered, or that's your expertise, so to speak, you this month are working on speaking your truth. I want to say speaking your truth, and you are getting a really positive response. I feel like this could be a singles or a couples reading. So if you're looking for a relationship, there's going to be an offer of an emotional offer that is going to either be the beginning of some structure in a relationship. So it could be like, we are a couple, or I would like to marry you, or I would like to have a future with you. There's some sort of verbal, concrete discussion. And I feel like this is you here, because it's in between these two. So male or female, it's just like you are kind of this prize. You are the ultimate queen or king to this person. And they see you as like, kind of like an answer to their prayers. Like next to Ace of Cups, next to this Hierophant, I feel like you're an answer to this person's prayers. And above the Queen, it's like, yeah, like they could see themselves marrying you. They can see the future in this. Or they haven't forgotten their vows, or they haven't, whatever the situation is for you. Like there's this renewed sense of like, yes, this is the person I chose because we can have a conversation together that is constructive, and we're both moving towards the same thing. We both want emotional fulfillment. We both want the same things. So maybe we'll pull some clarifying cards. Why is the Hierophant here? Why is the Hierophant here? Why is the Hierophant here for Leo? Everybody's getting this. So the Hierophant here is here because of the Knight of Swords. So this is like the energy of, maybe you had a disagreement, or maybe there was something bothering you, and you have this discussion. The King and Queen of Swords have this discussion, and you iron everything out. This person's realizing, like, yes, this is the one. I want this. They're charging forward to you. With the Hierophant, they're very sure of you. They're like, absolutely, no, whatever you want to do. You want to get married tomorrow? Cool. That's kind of the energy I'm getting from this. And they're unafraid to say stuff, which I feel like is kind of surprising. Whoever this is, I mean, I'm getting a lot of swords energy, so it could be with an air sign. Why is this Ace of Cups here? The Queen of Wands. You guys are attracted to each other. This person is fine. This person makes you comfortable with yourself. You feel like you can be you around them. You feel like a queen around them. You feel very grounded around them. They make you feel in your element. And the Empress is here because, just like I said, the Queen and King are swords. Once you guys have this conversation, they see this as their celebration. Like above this, they just know. They know now. The Hierophant above that, they know. All right, I don't really need to clarify this anymore. So there could be some sort of argument, a mature conversation to follow that makes you or this person realize that they're the one. It's like, oh. And I feel like the communication hasn't been there. So this is kind of like a big revelation. It's like, oh, this is within this person to do this, and we're learning from each other how to do this way. It feels very constructive. Okay, let's pull some angel cards. Okay, what are the messages for Leo for February 2018? Messages for Leo. What are the messages for Leo? Let's come out. Peace. No matter where you are or what you're doing, inner peace is always possible. All it takes is a subtle shift in awareness. Think love and peace will follow. So this is right in line with, peaceful communication, not being fiery, not screaming and yelling when something isn't quite the way it wants, or blowing up, that fire energy that can sometimes ignite. This is about peaceful communication, peaceful resolution, just peace. And this person probably brings peace to your life. Peace of mind knowing that this is the one, or they want you. It brings you peace. It brings you happiness. I feel happiness for you guys. And I feel like that really empowers you. I feel like you feel very sure of this relationship, or whatever this is. It could be a business, but I'm strongly getting relationships. I feel like all these readings have been relationships so far. Let's pull one more card. Guarded and protected. Thank you for protecting my loved ones around me, ensuring that we're safe and all of our needs are met. I now accept your help gratefully and gracefully, knowing that it is right for me and all others to accept heavenly assistance. So what I'm feeling for this card is that your angels and guides are kind of stepping in to reinforce the stability in this relationship. So there's a need for you to have this outcome, to have this fight, or to have this disagreement, to have this peaceful resolution, and to have this shift in your knowingness. Because when you have this sense of security, you feel very safe in your life. And I feel like it's warranted. It's not false. It's real, and you need to be reminded that whoever this person is, they're there for you. They see you as, winning the jackpot, it feels like. And you feel the same way too. So this relationship is guarded and protected. So with these new skills of, peaceful communication, truthful and honest communication, this is the way that your relationship is going to be advancing. And this is the way you can protect it, by having peaceful, calm conversations and bringing up whenever something bothers you. Bring it up. That's the easiest way to avoid heated arguments or disagreements. You're always going to have disagreements, but there's always something that maybe the other person doesn't quite understand, or doesn't have a perspective of, or doesn't even really take into consideration. And that's your responsibility to explain that, how you see things. You need to do this. And learning how to do this it's an art. So that's what I feel like is going on in your life this month, Leo. I hope this was of help to you. I'm so sorry I was sick. If you sent me a personal email for a reading, I'm going to try and get back to you all this week. And if you're still interested, it won't hurt to resend another email, and I will schedule you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and shares. You guys are wonderful, and hopefully I'll be back soon with a new reading. Thanks, guys.